Hey you guys, welcome to the Online Course Creation Summit. I'm your host, Devin Slavin, and I'm thrilled to be bringing you this series of interviews and presentations from top online entrepreneurs and course creators from all around the world. And they're coming together here to share all of their hard-won lessons, techniques, tips, their creative genius on how to design, build, and launch your own world-changing online course. And our next guest, really excited to bring him on. His name is Iman Aghay, and he is founder of the Success Road Academy, which is one of the largest marketing training centers in the world. And he offers many online courses that include hundreds of hours of training, videos, audios, all that good stuff. And Iman's students have found online training centers in almost every niche. So we're not talking about just one, business or one thing, but every niche market, from overcoming anxiety, living a happy life, managing personal finances, being a great public speaker, which is of course very important, and weight loss, and many other programs as well. So I'm thrilled to be inviting you guys together to join us with this conversation with Iman, and welcome Iman to the Online Course Creation Summit. How are you doing?
I am doing great, Devin, and thank you very much for having me on this webinar. I'm super excited to be here and share my information with all your audience.
Yeah, it is incredible to have you here. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I'm sure you've got tons of things going on. So just diving right in here, you have been creating an incredible amount of training and courses for people who want to do online business. And I'm curious if you could share with us, like, how did you get started doing that? What drew you to this? And how did you get to where you're at today?
Yeah, so it's actually a little bit long story, but I try to make it as short as possible.
Sure.
Just so you guys know, I kind of talk a little bit a lot, but I give you a lot of value in talking a little bit a lot. But
Absolutely.
so technically, I started my business in 2010. I had 17 days to become homeless when I decided to start my business. And I moved to Canada in 2009. I couldn't speak English properly. I didn't have any family or friends, and my money was supposed to follow me, and it didn't.
Wow.
So I was looking for a job, and it was right after 2008 recession, and there was no job available. And so I was looking for a job and everything. I couldn't find any job. And in early 2010, I had 17 days to become homeless when I decided to stop looking for a job and start my own business. And 3 days later, I found the first client. The first company I started was a web design and SEO company here in Canada. 3 days later, I found the first client, and that client paid the rent of that month and the rent of the next month. It was a big client, but $3,600. So she paid $1,800 for the first month and $1,800 the next month, which paid the rent of 2 months. And after that, I found another $800 per month SEO client, and that's how I kind of built my business. And within about 1.5 years, I was running a six-figure business, very successful company.
Wow.
And people started asking me how I built my business. And I started coaching one person and two people and 5 people and 10 people. And that turned into a seminar business. I realized I can't coach people one-on-one, so I started doing seminars. And I started flying from one city to another city to another city. And that seminar business grew and grew and grew. And it was at that point, around that time, that we started creating online courses, because I realized I don't have enough time for training parts of the program, and we needed to do a lot of marketing. So I started kind of creating all of these online courses, but the main lifeline of our business was doing seminars and live events. And in 2014, we were doing about 200 live events in a year,
Wow.
which was crazy. I was flying, I was doing an event in Vancouver, then getting on the airplane, getting to Edmonton, do a talk in Edmonton, driving to Calgary, doing a talk in Calgary, flying to Toronto, doing a talk in Toronto, and then coming back to Vancouver and doing a 2-day conference. So that was my life.
Wow.
I wasn't able to, I was constantly eating out of hotels and, and living in hotel rooms technically. And I gained 200. I was at 280 pounds, overweight. Like my belly was like all out. And one day I was in Toronto. I was just about to start a 2-day conference, and I realized that I'm burnt out. I needed a pen, and I was looking at a box of pen, and I was thinking, oh, I need a pen. This is a box of pen. I need a pen. This is a box of pen. And I couldn't connect the two, And I realized I'm like totally burned out. And that's when I went upstairs to my hotel room, put my feet on the wall, and I asked myself two questions. And I always tell everyone, all my students, ask these questions from yourself. And these were the two questions I asked myself. What do you love about your life? And what don't you like about your life? And I gave myself this list. I said, so what do I like about my life? I like the financial security that I have. I like the fact that I am changing a lot of people's lives. I like the fact that I'm a leader in the market. I like the fact that I am helping a lot of people to build better businesses and grow and share their message and live their life purpose. I'm very happy about that. I love my impact in this world. But what I don't like is the fact that I'm constantly traveling. I don't have location freedom and I don't have time freedom. And I'm not spending my time on things that really I care about, like spending my time with being with my wife, with being with my family, on my health. I'm not doing the things that I really care about.
Right.
And I gave myself 3 months to change my life. And remember, at this point, we've been teaching people how to create and sell online courses since 2010. Like the first client that actually signed up for my company, she wanted to create an online course. So from the very first, like 2010, we were teaching people how to create and sell online courses, and we had all of that. But it wasn't my entire business. In 2014, when I came back from Toronto to Vancouver, I live in Vancouver, BC. When I came back to Vancouver, I canceled all of our live events except one, and I gave myself 3 months to rebuild the entire business and this time build it entirely online. So we built the entire business online. I did my last live event in September 28, 2014. And since then, I have not done any weekend events, and I haven't been happier in my life. It's the entire thing is online right now, 100% of business online, like 85% went online in 2014 and 100% of business went online in 2015. And at that point, we were teaching 12 courses. We were teaching people how to do seminars and events and webinars and write a book and do podcasting and stuff. And I have a saying that I say, if you are a mentor, you should teach what you live. And I thought, I am living, creating, and selling online courses. So why am I teaching the other 11 courses? And I dropped the other 11 courses we were teaching. I kept the course on how to create and sell online courses. And we're just focused on that. We have the mentorship program and all teaching on how to create and sell online courses. And we're specifically focused in the past year, just teaching people how to create and sell online courses.
Wow. That is awesome. That is such an incredible story. I mean, right there is plenty of, there's plenty of lessons in there and plenty of, reasons for creating an online course. So that was really incredible introduction. I love what you were sharing about how, that it sounds like a really intense way to start out, but that need, like, okay, I need to create, I need to earn a living, and that fire that was behind you, that made you to, that was part of how you are here today, sharing all of this wealth of knowledge with the Online Course Creation Summit. So that is so cool. I mean, nobody wants that when they're moving to a new place or starting out, but that it's cool because it's brought you to where you are today. And then I loved what you were saying about that experience of having to be all over the place doing speaking. And, not that I love that you had to spend your time all over the place, but that's actually how I got into creating online courses as well. I was working for a nature education company, and we were getting invitations all over the world. We were able to fulfill on some of them, but we just did not have the capacity. So it forced us to do online courses. So so I can totally relate to that. But it's interesting because we'll definitely get into the details of these online courses and why they're so powerful. But I love, you know, essentially, you know, how you brought it back to I don't know, it's like a baseline. I don't know what you would call it, but it's just this question to come back to where, you know, what do I love about my life? What do I like about my life? And what do I not? And then it simply puts the path right in front of you. So very cool.
So if I can actually add a little bit to that. One of the things I always tell my students, I say, when failure is not an option, you succeed. You know, many times we wait and wait and wait and wait. And the reason that we are waiting is because we can get by. But if you get to the point that you can't get by and you have to change, you change. We are strong and we are stubborn on doing things in the wrong way as long as we have the chance to fail. So we say, oh, let me try this. But if I failed, I'm not gonna go like not being able to live. Like I'm fine, right? But there is a point that failure isn't an option. And I got to that point that failure wasn't an option. And when failure isn't an option, you do what it takes to make success. You do what it takes to bring your dream to reality. And that's the time that I started. And well, there are lots of other times that, you know, I had those, you know, changing moments because you get comfortable. And so you need constant motivation. And so with that, like I had lots of things like that kind of motivated me at a certain point and made me decide to drop one thing and do something else and do something else and improve. And every time you grow and you become bigger and you become better. But that's the key. It's like when failure is not an option, you succeed. And you have to position yourself the way that failure is not an option in your life.
Wow. That's incredible. So yeah, I can totally relate to that personally. I kind of put myself in that position, but we won't go into that right now, maybe some other time. But yeah, so I can totally relate to that. And I'm curious, so, you know, for all of the course creators, whether people are in the process of creating their own course or they're, you know, they're thinking about it here, listening to this talk, or they've already created a course, you know, what kind of tips would you have for them to set up that scenario? Not necessarily to, you know, burn all their bridges and, you know, start from scratch, but is there any kind of a tip that you could offer to creating that set scenario where, you know, failure isn't really an option in creating the online course?
The first thing is that start with yourself. Okay. The reason that we get into business is because we want to fulfill a need. And you need to know what that need is in you. And to know that what that need is in you, you have to get to know yourself. You have to get to know what you want to build. You have two options in life, okay? You can either live a life that happens to you, or you can live a life that you plan to live. And there is no other way. So it's your choice. You want to put effort and you want to put your work into creating something amazing. You can plan it and you can create the thing that you really want. Or you can say, hey, you know, it feels that I can make money here, so I'm going to create this. And then maybe you're not even interested in it or you're not even passionate about it. And you end up having something that makes money and you hate. And this is actually what many people do. Many people forget that the first and most important thing about their business is themselves. Right. The most important thing in your business is you. If you want to succeed, and you know, the name of my company is Success Road Academy. And a lot of people ask us, like, what does success mean? And the answer is success depends on every person. So the meaning of success to you is different than the meaning of success to me. And the point is that you have to define success for yourself. For some people, success is having $1 million in a bank account. For some people, having a $1 million in bank account is failure. It's like, no, success for me is having $1 billion in my bank account. For some people, success is not even about money. For some people, success is about being able to go back home at 4 p.m. and spend the rest of the day with your family and enjoy your life. For some people, success is being able to travel the world and being on the beach and being a lone wolf and having not any family. And, we are not at any position to judge another person's definition of success, because that's the definition of success for that person. But here's the thing. You are building a business. You are putting your effort in creating a success. So create the success that you want, not the success that society tells you, not the success that it happens to you,
right,
but the success that you really want. Now, if you're starting a business, don't treat your online course just as an online course. Oh, I'm just creating an online course. No, there is nothing just an online course. It's a business. It's a model. If you create a course at $20 and you're hoping to sell 50,000 of it to make $1 million, you have to work damn hard to sell 50,000 copies of your $20 course to make $1 million. So you better treat it as a business. You better understand that it's not just like, oh, I'm creating one course and just one course. No, you are building a business. And if you are building a business, you are putting a ton of efforts in it. And if you are putting a ton of efforts in it, you got to build something that you love. You got to build something that you want. So there are few things that I always get my students to do. I always get them to say, write down your life purpose. I want to know. It's like, who do you want to be in your life? It's not what do you want to do in your life, but who do you want to be in your life? What's going to be your impact in this world? And my students, it's like our marketing. We have very targeted marketing. We say our target market are people who want to make a positive difference in other people's lives, businesses, or environment. So people who have knowledge and want to make a positive difference in other people's lives, business, and environment are our target market. But why? Why that target market is my target market? Right. Because number one, I'm passionate about them. I'm passionate to talk to people who want to make a positive difference in other people's lives. Why am I passionate about those people? Because of my own personal story. My personal story goes to my dad, and my dad, struggled really hard. He was a very successful business owner financially, and his plans was to retire at age 53. And when he turned 50, he got a disease called ALS. And ALS is a disease that kills the patient within 3 to 5 years. And my dad never retired. He died at age 53, the age that he wanted to retire, and he worked really hard, and he never lived the life of his dream. He never enjoyed his life, although financially he was well. And that turned into my passion to help entrepreneurs to live a better life. And that turned into a passion that if I want to make an impact in this world, if I want to change other people's lives, it's better that I help the people that want to help other people. So I create a ripple effect of what I do. So if I help one person who can help 100 people, that's far better, and I'm having a bigger impact in this world, right? So, so the question here is, who do you want to be? And when it comes to me, it's like, I want to be an inspiration and a mentor to entrepreneurs who want to make a positive difference in other people's lives. Now, the why of it comes from my personal life. I have a personal story. I have a reason for it, and it comes from me. It comes from my heart. And I want to change that in other people's lives. And I'm bringing that every day to my business. And people say, oh, Iman, how come you are passionate? How come you're like always, talking with passion and excited, and that's why. Because what I do is very aligned with what I want to build in my life. Success for me is when one of my students comes out and says, Iman, I helped 70 people today to do something better. I helped 10,000 people today to get rid of their fear so they can go and achieve massive success. And I sit in my office and I think, I did that because I changed that person's life. So he went out and changed the lives of 10,000 people. That's what gets me going. That's my passion, right?
Right.
So that's the first step. The first
That's
step
the first step.
is get to know yourself. Know who you want to be and build a business that serves your life purpose. Write down your life purpose. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do to achieve who you want to be? And what do you want to get in return? So that's my life purpose. My life purpose is to be an inspiration and a mentor to entrepreneurs who want to make a positive difference in other people's lives. I do this, so this is the do that helps me to be who I want to be. I do this through my seminars and webinars and conferences and training entrepreneurs to share their message with a wider audience. And then you say, what do you want in return? And then in return, I make X amount of money. I never say that X amount because I don't want to create false, kind of like, oh, here is the potential. I make X amount of money, and I get the chance to call other leaders in the world as my friend. And that's what I live. Every day of my life, that's what I live. It's like, that's what I do every morning. That's who I am. That's what I do. And that's what I get in return. And if you want to succeed, that's the success. Success is what you define for yourself. So you can be who you want to be. You can do what you want to do, and you can get what you want in return. But you got to know what it is. So when I ask you, what's your 24 hours of your dream? Like 24 hours of your dream life. Most people can't explain that.
Right.
Imagine that you are going to explain the 24 hours of your dream life. And most people can't. Most people don't know where they are going to wake up, which city they are going to be at, who they are going to wake up beside, how their bed looks like on their dream day, what are their morning ritual of their dream day.
Right.
What are breakfast of your dream day? What's your lunch of your dream day? What's the car that you drive in your dream day? How does your office look like? What you are doing? Do you have team members? Are you alone? Are you working with other people? How many kids are in the home? Are there any kids in the home? Do you have pets? Wow. What are your hobbies in the evening? Do you have any hobbies, or do you go home and just simply read a book, or you go for golfing, or you take a helicopter ride to a kind of on top of the mountain, and you sit there and you're having lunch with the love of your life, and that's the way that you're going to spend the evening of your dream. And if you don't know what your 24 hours of your dream life is, how can you live it, and how can you achieve it?
Right.
So that's the first step.
Okay.
Get to know yourself.
That is so cool. I've got to jump in here because we had a chance to get to know each other before this, and it is so cool how the world works, because I'm so passionate about very many of the similar things that you're passionate about, and I'm sitting here getting lit up by your passion about inspiring leaders and entrepreneurs to be their greatest self. And I'm thinking, this is interesting because we're talking online course creation summit. So what would happen if you think of all the online courses out there that exist right now, all the online courses that will be coming to being in this next year, and into the future, and if people bring that clarity that you're speaking to and that passion that you're speaking about to their online course, what's the impact of that? Are they going to have a course that is mediocre? Probably not.
No, absolutely not.
I love that that's where you started with. It makes sense. I now get why you're starting with that, but I love it because when people start from that place, I can't imagine them failing, which was exactly the question I asked. So well done. That's great. And I know we're on the first step. So I don't know if you we're going to have the time to reveal them all, but if you could reveal a little bit more, I would love that. As much as you want to share, please do, Iman. It's great.
Yeah. So anyhow, we go to the second step. Okay. So I say, okay, so the first step is get to know yourself, build something that is aligned with what you want, build based on your life purpose and everything. And one piece of that is identify who are the people that you love to work with every single day. A lot of us have experienced this moment that you wake up in the morning, you look at your calendar and you're like, oh, I got to see that client and I really don't like to work with this client. And you know, if you want to plan your life, it's like, let's plan who you love to meet every day. If you're going out and want to work with people, let's decide who those people are going to be, and that's going to give you your niche market. So a lot of people say, oh, your niche market, you should go use lots of like market research and look at this number and that number and, you know, like how many people are out there and everything. And all of that is correct. I'm not saying that they are wrong. They are absolutely true. But there is one step before that. Do you love that audience? Do you love to spend 8 hours of your day with that audience? Because technically that's what's going to happen. You're going to spend your love life, you're going to spend your time with your loved one 4 hours a day, and you're going to spend the rest of your day with these people. So these people, if you choose them correctly, is much kind of it has a bigger impact in your life than if you chose your loved one incorrectly. Does it make sense? So you spend 8 hours a day with these people and 4 hours a day with your loved one. So you better choose these people correctly as well.
Right.
And then based on that niche market, when you chose your niche market, you got to go to your niche market and you got to ask them several questions. These questions are the questions that are going to guarantee your success in the market. Now, one thing about these questions is that these are the questions that most people never share, okay? And I call them the 7 golden questions of marketing. And you definitely want to take notes on this one. Nice. There are these 7 questions that can help you to create a system that can serve your clients with excellence. And the first thing is, like, if you are taking notes on top of your sheet of today, if you're taking notes of today, write this big bold on top. Serve your client with excellence. So always serve your clients with excellence. That's the first rule of business. That's the first rule of marketing. And if you want to serve your clients with excellence, you got to know the answer to these following 7 questions. Number 1, what's the biggest challenge that your niche market is experiencing today? About the thing that you can help. So if you're going to help them with book writing, what's the biggest challenge that they have with book writing today? What's the biggest fear that they have with book marketing today? So the first one is about challenge. The second one is about fear. And the third one is about frustration. And then you're going to ask them questions about what they want to achieve. So the fourth question is, what's the biggest want? And the fifth question is, what's the biggest dream or aspiration that they have? So let's go to a book writer. It's like, what's the biggest challenge that you have as a book writer today? And the person may say, the biggest challenge that I have is coming up with the headlines. Perfect. What's the biggest fear you have? Oh, what if I write the book and nobody buys it? Great. What's the biggest frustration that you have? Oh, I can't really figure out the how-to. There are no how-tos out there that I can follow and gives me exactly, how to do it. So I'm very frustrated with that. Great. Perfect. Now you know the challenge, you know the fear, you know the frustration. And then you go to what's the biggest want. So what's your biggest want? Oh, I want to publish my book in the next 120 days. Awesome. Perfect. And what's your biggest dream? If you can publish your book in the next 120 days, what are you going to achieve? Oh, I can get on public speaking. I can get on the stage for doing public speaking. I can, be on media. I can be on podcasts, in newspapers and magazines. Fantastic. Now you have everything you need to know about that target market. Why? Because here's the thing. What you do for marketing is technically you tell people how to go from their challenges, fears, and frustration to get to their dreams and aspiration. And you need to have a system to move them from challenge, fear, and frustration to the dream and aspiration that makes sense to your audience.
Right.
So with asking these questions, you are ready for the market. You know the program that your customers want to buy. And all you need to do is just go and create the program. You already are ready. Your program is already ready on the second step. Now, this is the 8-step process. But on the second step, you are already done with knowing exactly what your customer wants. And then you have 2 more questions.
I know. I was going to ask, what are the last 2? I have them written down.
The next 2 questions are this. The 6th question is, if I were to create a program to take you from the challenge, fear, and frustration to get you to your dream and aspiration, how would you want to see me to deliver this program to you? So do you want to see it as in an online training? Do you want to see this in a one-on-one mentorship? Do you want to see this in a mastermind? Do you want to see this in a retreat? How does that program look like? And here's the thing. Many people think when they're creating an online course, their online course is only an online course, but it's not the reality. You can create online courses as a combination of so many things. So many times, for example, the online courses that we sell them as a mentorship program. So it's 4 weekly one-on-one mentorship sessions plus 10 online training videos. And suddenly you're looking at it and it's like $8,000. And people say, are you charging $8,000 for 4 hours of your time? Yes, but it's not 4 hours of my time. It's the online course that's changing the person's life, and that one-on-ones that I'm doing is getting them to get the result. And remember, you should serve your clients with excellence. And serving clients with excellence is making sure that they're going to achieve the result. What that means is that you are going to help them to go from challenge, fear, and frustration to go to the dream and aspiration. And that's serving your clients with excellence if you can give them within the right formula and right format. And the last question, how much is it worth to you? How much is it worth to you? Is it worth to you $500 to get to that dream? Is it worth to you to get to that dream for like $5,000 or $50,000? And that doesn't mean that it's going to be your price, but that's what it's worth to them right off the bat. You don't want to send these questions to them up front. You don't want to create a survey monkey and send it to them. You want to get on the phone. You want to talk to them one-on-one and chat with them. And if you are thinking, oh, how can I find a person to ask these questions? Think about it this way. If you can't find a person to ask questions for free, how can you sell to them? So that's your first task. You want to sell something to someone, first find them to ask them some questions for free. If you can't even ask questions for free, how do you expect to sell to those people? Okay, so you got to change your mindset on that. Oh, okay, I don't know how to find people. You don't know how to find people. Learn, because you're going to sell to hundreds of those people. You got to be able to sell to reach tens of thousands of them. Okay,
right.
So that's that.
Damn.
And then we go to the third step.
Are you sure you want to give us the third step? I mean, this is pretty rich. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay, the third step is about content structure. Okay?
Yeah.
When you get to your, when you write down your, when you come up with your market research, you do your market research with at least 8. And when you get to 20, you start finding the same thing that people are saying. So when you get to around 20 people, you see that, oh, people are saying the same thing. And, oh, so this is what your target market. So you get a very accurate reading of your target market. And then when you get that accurate content, then you have the accurate want that your target market has. Then you have to develop a course that gets them from the challenge, fear, frustration to that dream and aspiration. Remember, so far, we haven't recorded a single thing. We haven't put the PDFs together. We haven't recorded. We haven't done anything.
Right.
All we have done so far is that we have asked people, and then you are going to sit there with your computer, with your Microsoft Word, with your whiteboard, whatever it is, and you are going to create a content structure that is going to get people to get results. And that's the keyword, results. You're not going to get a course together that gets people information. In this age, information is free. You shouldn't give people information. You should give people results. So whatever you create, it should create results. It should be a formula. It should be a step-by-step program. It should be something that when people study, they get homework. When they get their homework done, they can get it done. And that's when people are start paying you. That's when people start referring clients to you. But that's the content structure. And if you're worried about the content and information, don't worry about it, because there is a chance that you don't have the knowledge on how to teach a part of it. But that's fine, because you can get other experts to come online and teach those pieces. And they are more than happy to do that because they get exposure, right? Why am I here today? I'm not getting paid for this, right? But the reason I'm here today is because I want to get exposure. I want to share my message. I want to talk to more people. I want everybody to hear about my message. I would be more than happy to come here and work with Devin and, and give as much value as I can. And it's the same with many other experts. With every single expert that Devin is bringing on board, it's the same thing. Am I right, Devin?
I think so.
Right? All of us want exposure. That's why we are here. That's why we participate in summits. So think about Devin. Like, imagine Devin didn't know about course creation. He knows, but imagine he didn't know about course creation. Imagine I used to be 280 pounds, right? Imagine as a 280-pound person, I wanted to teach people weight loss. How could I do that? By getting people who had the knowledge on weight loss, bring them on a conference, on a summit like this, and get them to talk about weight loss and amazing results. They would come because they wanted the exposure, and I would create my course. I would create my first course. Right. That's how I created my first seminar, in fact. In 2011, the first marketing seminar that I didn't have content. What I did, I brought 8 world-class speakers to a conference. It was a multi-speaker event. Each of them delivered 1.5-hour talk. Wow. And it was the first marketing mastery summit I did. I sold 250 tickets to that event. And that's how I built my seminar business, which we did 200 live events a year. Not long after, 3 years after, we were doing 200 live events a year. But I started from not having content and getting those experts to come and share their content. So don't let and if you have the content, fantastic. Yeah. Go with your content, right? After you put together your content, you go to step 4, which is something I call it one-pager. And one-pager is that when you put your target market and your content of the course and the structure of the course together, and then you go and the price of the course and the affiliate fee and everything, you put your offer in a way together, and you take that offer and you go back to your target market. Remember, I haven't recorded a single hour. I haven't recorded any course. I don't have a membership area. I have nothing. Mm-hmm. All I have is one piece of paper that is based on what market told me that they want to see and the content structure that I created. Mm-hmm. You take this and you go back to your target market and you sit with them and say, hey, I need to do a secondary market research with you, and that is on giving me feedback on this course. What do you think about this course? This course will help you to do this, and is priced this much. What do you think about it? Can you give me feedback? How can I improve it? How can I make it better? How can I make this structure better? Is the price right? Would you buy this program? Yes. Fantastic. Do you want to buy the program? Do you want to become a beta user? And here are the things. Like, I really highly recommend to get beta users. And what I do is that if people are very influential people, so I know that in future they can refer a ton of clients to me, I give them the beta course for free. I'm like, just come to the course for free. I don't care. Why? Because I don't have testimonials yet. I don't have a lot of things. Like, you need testimonials. You need reviews. You need to learn about your own content. That's the first time you were teaching it, right? So I want a lot of people to come to my first course. And so to influential people, I give it for free. And I bring them on board because I know they have a mailing list of 50,000 people, 40,000 people, 25,000 people. And I know if I do an amazing job and I serve them with excellence, next time that I'm running this course, they would be more than happy to refer clients to me. Make sense?
Totally.
That's the first group. The second group is when I'm getting to my target market and sitting with them, and they look at it and they're like, yeah, Iman, that's a fantastic course. And the price of the course is $2,000, for example. I'm like, okay, would you like to get into this program for $500? Mm-hmm. I'm going to sell this for $2,000. And you just said that it's worth $2,000. But would you like to get to this program for $500? Mm-hmm. And they say yes. I'm like, okay, join me as a beta user, but here is the deal. At the end of the program, if you were happy, you're going to give me a testimonial. If you were not happy, you're going to give me a review and feedback on everything that we went through. And even if you're happy, I want that review regardless.
Nice.
Okay. So you are going to get a review after every session, and you're going to talk to clients. You're going to learn about that, right? And before even you start creating your course, you have some clients in the course.
Right.
And then you get to step 5, which is recording the content. Many times, I have a membership area, obviously, right? But many times when it's the first time that I'm creating an online course, I don't use my membership area. Here is what I do, and you can do it that way. You can do it so many other ways. But here is what I do. Usually what I do is that I run my courses based on live webinars. So I do them live, and I say, the first time that I'm running, especially the first time that I'm running it, I get people to come onto a live webinar. So I say it's a 4-week course, or it's 8-week course, or it's a 6-week course. It's going to be 8 weekly live webinars. Come to this live webinar. I will coach you during this webinar, and you can ask your questions. You can give me feedback. And then I put them on a Facebook group. And then I say, I give you a homework, and you go and submit it on the Facebook group.
That's so cool. Yeah.
And after I'm done with the webinar, I use Webinar Jam, but you can use Google Hangout. Doesn't matter, right? It's the same technology. You can use Hangout on air. And it's what Devin is using right now. So you get that webinar, and after I'm done, it gets automatically recorded, and it is uploaded already to YouTube. So I go to my YouTube channel, get the link, and post it to my Facebook group and say, guys, this is the recording of the live webinar you just attended. Make sure that you submit your homework by the end of next week, and I'm going to give you feedback on your homework. Remember, I sell systems. I sell solutions. I don't give people content. When you want to create something, you want to give people results. You want to get people to get actual results. You don't want to give people content, because information is free. It's the result that people care about. Right? And you see, like, in none of these parts, I've created any membership site.
Interesting.
Now I'm creating my program based on two free tools, a Facebook group and a Hangout or Webinar Jam, which is like, but technically it's Hangout on Air, right? Yeah. So Hangout on Air and this. And also I've created courses on Skype. So I just created on Skype, and there's this tool that's free called Skype MP3 Skype Recorder, and I got like 5 people, and this is how I created my book writing course. So I got 8 people. We actually wrote this book together. It's called The Game Changer. There are you see these people. These are all my students. And so what I did is that I caught these people and I said, guys, all of you have amazing stories. Let's write a book together and make it an Amazon bestseller. And I coached them on how to write an inspirational book. And those calls were recorded. And they were all conducted on Skype. Those calls were recorded. And that turned into my how to write a best-selling book course. And, you know, it's like entirely conducted on Skype and then put onto a membership area later on. So these people paid to be part of the book, and they got free books and stuff like that. And we sold the book. The book became Amazon bestseller. So they become Amazon bestsellers. And I created my course at the same time. So I'm a best-selling author because we wrote the book.
Right.
You sell result. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. And after you record your content, you go to the next step, which is your membership area. You put together your membership area, and you can use lots of tools. There are lots and lots of tools that are very simple to use, and there are tools that are more complicated. And then after you create your membership area, all you need is a good sales process. But you don't need to be afraid of sales process. Why? Because you did step 2 and step 3 and step 4.
Right.
You already know exactly what you need to tell people that they will want to buy your course. And because you ran the beta version, you already have the testimonials, you already have the reviews, and that's all people want. What people want to see in a sales process is that this is a system that makes sense. This is a system that I can do. This is a process that other people have used before and have succeeded. And it specifically answers my challenges, fears, and frustrations, and get me to the result that I want. Does all of that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And you
And
didn't make it up.
right? And that is the seventh step. And when you create your sales funnel based on these steps, it's a very easy thing to sell, because now you have tested, you have success, you have achieved what you want. And the eighth step, which is the last step, is just getting promotional partners to help you to sell it, and getting on Facebook ads and stuff like that. But all of that are just like, when you have a system that sells, bringing traffic is not a big deal, because the system sells. It becomes a problem when you don't sell. So the challenge with many courses that they can't sell is because like they don't get traffic. Is not actually a problem of traffic, is a problem of sales. If you were getting traffic, you could get sales from. If you could get sales, you could get traffic from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that you can't get traffic is because you don't get sales, and the reason you don't get sales is because your course isn't bringing results to people, isn't changing their lives, and that's why. And the reason for that is because you have not done a step 2 and a step 4, which is asking your target market exactly what they want to see in the course, and creating a course that gets them exactly the result that they are looking for.
Oh,
so that's the 8th step.
okay, so we have the key here. We have the golden key to course creation right there. So you gave it to us all. We don't need anything else, right? go everyone, go do it. But of course, it is that before I actually talk about that, I have to say that's brilliant. I really love how you took us through that process, Iman, because I mean, that's something that I run into too, where it's like, people have an idea, they're already teaching this, they're going to do it the same way they've taught it in person, they turn it into the course, they try to sell it, they didn't really figure out why were people coming to my workshops in person. So now they don't know how to sell people their course because they don't know how to pitch it. It's like, but you're taking them through the process organically, where they're testing it, they're doing market research multiple times, having conversations, getting testimonials, reviews before they've even created their content, recorded it. Yeah, that's brilliant. I love it. So thank you for sharing the tips and the process with us. And I'm wondering, for people who, I think we're getting to the point where we probably need to start wrapping up here. So I'm wondering, if people wanted to work with you further, can you tell us about what that would look like, or what kind of thing that you're offering in terms of course creation?
Yeah, absolutely. So this 8-step formula that I just talked about, it is called Ultimate Course Formula, and I'm the creator of Ultimate Course Formula. So this is the formula that I created based on my own experience and based on the best thing that's been working for me and for my students. And that's what my students used to create all of their courses and training. And many of them actually start being profitable in the first 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks. Wow. Because as soon as you get to the 4th week, you are selling, right? You're selling to beta users, but you are selling. And that's actually where you start making money. And even before creating your course, before doing your first recording, you actually start selling with that formula. So anyhow, that program is called that formula is called Ultimate Course Formula, and so obviously we have a program called Ultimate Course Formula, and we have 2 versions of it. We have a version that is the group coaching program, and every week is 8 week long because it's 8 steps, and every week we teach 1 step, and we give them a homework that takes 1 week to do the homework. And when they do the homework, by the end of the week, they are actually, if they have done their homework, they are ready to go to the next homework. So they can actually create their course in about 60 days. The entire course is ready. Actually, today is the last day of my last Ultimate Course Formula that you and I are talking. Wow. And quite a few of my students actually have finished their course. They are ready. They are starting selling. And actually, they start selling from the 4th week, but now their entire training is recorded and everything in 7th week. So
wow.
It's like today is the beginning of the 8th week, right?
Right.
So that's so that's the formula, and we have the general group coaching program of it, and then we have the mentorship program of it. And the mentorship program, we work with people one-on-one, plus they are part of the group coaching program. So they go to the group coaching program, they get with a mentor, they are matched with a mentor, and that mentor works with them one-on-one. But regardless if they are in group coaching or mentorship, we support them over the Facebook group. They submit their homeworks on the Facebook group, and we go through their homework and we give them feedback on how they can improve. So when they write a sales page, we tell them how they can improve their sales page. When they write a video sales letter, when they write their client avatar, when they do their market research, they submit all of this. We review all of this for them and then give them feedback. And that's why the success rate of our students are actually very high, is because everything they do, we check with them, we give them feedback, we tell them how to fix it, and they go to the next level. Many of our students that started with us couldn't even record a video on their iPhone the first day. Now they have recorded hours and hours of content, and they're ready to launch 7 weeks later. So that's because it's a step-by-step homework-based process.
Incredible. That's great. You know that I had a conversation recently with Danny Iny talking about the difference between online education or online information courses or education courses, and what you're talking about here is clearly the education side, because you're walking with them step by step. So that sounds incredible, Iman. That's great. So the ultimate course formula. So you mentioned the group and the one-on-one offering, and we're, as you can see, we have a special link below this video here for you guys to check that out, and highly recommend it. And I don't even need to recommend it, because you just heard the formula right there, and you know what you're getting into by checking that out. So that is incredible. Thank you so much, Iman, for coming here to share this brilliance with the Online Course Creation Summit. As I said at the beginning, I know you have a lot going on. Obviously, you just wrapped up a course of your own. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to share this, all this genius that you brought to the Online Course Creation Summit. And yeah, we hope to be in touch as things move on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Devin, for having me here. And yeah, I'm glad, and I would look forward to work with those of you who are on the call. You can go ahead to the link below, and that gets you on our free information page. So you get to that page, and you get actually a free training from us, and you get more information about our courses and everything else. So make sure that you go there. Actually, in that page, probably you will be able to find an ebook that gives you all the detailed tools that you can use to put together your online course. That's actually one of the things that a lot of people are looking for, is what tools they need to use. So like, what's the camera that I'm using, what's the lighting that I'm using, the microphone, everything, and all the softwares and stuff. All of that, you can find that actually in that area that you are actually following the link below. So thanks very much, David, and looking forward to working with all of you. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Iman. All right, you guys, and thanks to all of you who tuned in for this episode of the Online Course Creation Summit, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.